Hi, my name's Lee Matthews. I'm one of the pain management physiotherapists at Queen's Hospital. The purpose of this video is to guide you through some gentle neck exercises. Some of these might be familiar to you already, but the aim is to give you some ideas of some gentle stretches and show you some ideas about how we go about this and about the pace that we're looking for. You might find that when you start to move you get some pops and creaks, especially if it's something you've never done for a while. It might be that you find that when you do the movement you get some pain, and that's okay as long as it's just a transient thing. If it still hurts from doing these after about half an hour, then you might be you're pushing a little bit too far. So whilst we don't mind some pops and creaks, and whilst when we start to move we probably will expect a little bit of exercise related soreness, if you find that that persists for a long time, it might be you're just pushing a little bit too far. So hopefully me guiding you through them should help. There's a sheet that accompanies these exercises which you might have been given by your physiotherapists. So if we go through it, there's a few neck stretches here. You might have a few other ones that you've been also given. So first of all, the position we're looking for is neck rotation. So what we're looking to do, sit up nice and straight in the chair, and working to the soft edge of a stretch, I relax, and I turn round, and I hold. Now I'd be able to hold that stretch for about 5 seconds, and then back to the middle, and then the same to the other side. And back to the middle. So nice and gentle with all of these. You might get a pop or a creak, and then back to the middle again. So you don't need to do hundreds of these, and I'd be looking for you to try and bookend your day. So if you can do some stretches in the morning when you wake up, or in the evening before you go to bed, or some other time that suits your daily routine, that would be perfect. This is a small amount of exercise, little and often. This isn't about grinning and bearing it or forced into agony, and you work to the soft edge of a stretch as you relax into it. So the next stretch we're going to do is a side flexion. So I'm going to bring my ear over to my shoulder, and I hold, and then back over to the other side. And again. So once you get familiar, you might not even need to look at the sheet. And again. The next movement we're going to look at is a bit of a strange one. It's a chin retraction, which is a bit like trying to show off a double chin. So if I do it first of all pointing towards the camera, and then relax. And if I show you the same thing sideways on, I'm basically going to draw the chin back. I hold for a few seconds and relax. So that's quite a nice stretch if you've got a job where you sit at a desk all day long. It helps to promote some of the muscles that we use with our neck posture that can sometimes get weak with long-term neck pain. So it can be a really useful stretch to do. So again, 2 of those a couple of times a day. You might even do a few of them at work if you've got an office job where you slouch over a computer. The next movement we're going to try and do is looking down to the floor, so my chin comes down to my chest, and then up to the ceiling. So again, I come down to the chest, feeling that stretch in the back of the neck, and you might even find it more comfortable doing the leaning backwards if you've got some arms behind you to support there. So I hold and relax. And if you feel giddy when you look up, it might be just literally look to the corner of the room. So again, with all of these, they're aims that you work to your own individual capacity. The next one is a stretch for some of the muscles that can sometimes get tight into the shoulder blade. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to bring my chin down to the chest, and then look over towards the pocket slightly. I hold and sustain for a few seconds, and then back to the start position, and then the same on the other side. So again, chin down to the chest, over to your pockets, and hold and sustain. And again, 2 on each side if that's alright. Down to the chest, over to the pocket, hold, and the same to the other side. Down to the pocket, over to the corner, and hold, and then relax again. And last of all on our sheet is good old shoulder rolls. So we can sometimes get quite tight in our muscles, especially if we're round shouldered. So doing some gentle shoulder rolling can just help to loosen up that shoulder girdle that can get quite tight there. And that is the exercises. So there's lots of other stuff out there you can do, but if you wanted a gentle start, this is what we'd be looking for. And we know with long-term pain conditions that adaptively, it's normal when we've got pain that we avoid a certain movement. So you might find that one side's a lot stiffer than the other, in which case then you're going to gently work, and over the space of about 8 to 12 weeks, you'll start to notice you can move a little bit more freely. Chances are when you first start to do these stretches, if anything, you find that it hurts a little bit. You might notice no change in your pain to begin with, but over time what you'll start to find is that you can move a little bit further before your pain's provoked. We also know that if you've got a flare-up, it's still important to keep moving, but under those circumstances what we'd be looking for is that you might move a lot less. So rather than just avoiding the movement altogether if you're having a really bad day, even if you could just do a little bit of the movement, that would still be really useful. It helps to unknot tight muscles, movement lubricates joints. So pops and creaks are okay. We don't mind if you feel some sort of discomfort or exercise related soreness, as long as it's a small amount that's short term. If you find that you're really irritating it from doing the exercises, then it might be you need to adapt how you're doing it. It might even need for you to have a conversation with your physiotherapist. Some of these can even be adapted to doing laying down, such as the rotation and the side flexion. I even get people to lay with their head on a carrier bag sometimes because it really takes the friction out of it and makes it really, really gentle. So have a little go, see how you find it. 2 repetitions of them twice a day would be what I'd be aiming for. You don't need to do 10 of them, just a couple would be fine, a little and often. So hopefully that'll be of some help. Goodbye.